Well, good morning, guys. It's game on. Opening morning. I'm at the Frank farm this morning, and I'm in a pretty safe spot. I brought the lone wolf in here this morning, and it was obvious I was a little rusty getting in the tree in the dark, but it worked out, I think. There's one buck on this property that I would like to see, but I've been getting photos of at least. Jack Sparrow. You guys named him, not me. I got a camera about 400 yards to the south of me, on the edge of a big swamp, like bedding area where I think he beds. I'm pretty far from that, but got some white oak acorns dropping in here up on this little ridge. This is a pretty good spot where I could see him coming through to nibble on some acorns on his way back to bed. There's a bunch of big ag field out to the north, which I'm pretty sure he's coming from whenever I get him on that camera. But we had a cold front come through the last few days, and it's 48 degrees this morning. So normally I wouldn't dive right in the morning like this to hunt opening day. With a cold front coming through like this, I think you gotta put yourself kind of in the game. So without getting too crazy this morning, I'm pretty far back off his bedding area. I got a southeast wind, so it's kind of blowing like this. And I'm up on the side of a ridge here, and these oaks are kind of dropping to the south of me. The wind is almost perfect now. This morning it was kind of sinking down the side of the ridge here, but now the sun's come up, it's starting to warm up. I can see it kind of, when I drop milkweed, I can see it kind of going off straight out or over top. So my wind should be pretty good. The only goofy thing about this setup is I'm like a stick and a half high. I got a ton of cover around me, but if I kill a deer out here in front of me, I'm gonna be eye level with it, which could be pretty cool. So, yeah, let's settle in and see what happens. I'm gonna get quiet. It's crunch time. Well, guys, it's about 9 a.m. and I have not seen a deer. I had a couple does walk past my camera down there. Camera I was talking about getting pictures of Jack on, but no Jack Sparrow today. So it's really cool out, but I am sweating. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely not as good a shape as I was last year. If you're not used to hanging a tree stand, whew, I'll tell you what. And I feel like I'm definitely clunky and still working out the kinks, you know. The first couple times I do it. I would recommend, if you're not lazy like me, to practice with your setup, you know, a couple weeks before season starts in the backyard, at least a few times. So I'm pretty excited though. I guess I'll do my interview now. I'm down here at the Stark farm. I've hunted here a bunch in the past. I killed a doe here a few years back and hunted here several times during my rutcation last year. But I've had a camera out here for the last maybe 2 months, and I've got one buck on camera. I've got a couple photos of him that I would probably shoot. I had him on camera last year as probably a 3.5, and this year he'd be a 4.5. He didn't really grow that much, but he's a mature deer. I would shoot him in a heartbeat. Problem is I haven't seen him for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'd have to look at the date on the photo, but it's been a while. He had velvet still last time I saw him. There's a 10-pointer running around on this property too. He's got to be a 3-year-old. I've got several photos of him, but all hitting this scrape. That's maybe, I don't know, 70, 80 yards from me. And then walking in, there's another scrape. 30 yards behind me in this real thick stuff. That's tore up, got a ton of tracks in it too. So I'm kind of like in this little centralized location where all these trails kind of come together. I got a big power line that runs behind me. And then I'm in kind of like a transition area. Bean fields to the west, to the east, and to the north. And there's a big swamp to the south of me where a lot of these deer bed, I'm pretty sure. And this is kind of like a transition area, like I said, where they kind of work through here on their way out to the beans, depending on which way they go. So I had to get in here and come past these scrapes to get on like the west side so that I'm downwind of these scrapes. But I also wanted to be kind of downwind of all the deer trails. So like I said, we got a big deer trail coming out of these acorns. To the west of me, there's another trail down in here that comes out in front of me, maybe 30 yards, and this was like the best spot I can see a lot. It's like the least likely I'm gonna get busted. I might not get a shot, but I'm not gonna get bumped. I'm not gonna bump deer, hopefully, is the idea. You know, it's that age-old question, like, should I sit right on the scrape where I think that deer's gonna walk to, but give up all the trails behind me? Or should I play it safe and sit back off of the scrape? But I might not get a shot. Opening day, I'm gonna stay back. It's a long season, so like I said, I'm about 80 yards from that scrape where I've been getting photos of them deer. But yeah, I'm gonna settle in. It's about 4 o'clock right now. Should be a good evening, man. A buck I've had on camera, he's probably a 2.5. He might be a small 3.5-year-old buck. He was just walking, he just walked through these acorns over here about 70, 80 yards from me. He must have been bedded right over in there. I didn't get any footage of him because where I put my camera arm's too short. It wouldn't reach around the tree here. So I tried to freehand it. I don't think I really got any footage of him. I didn't see him. He's in this little cluster of trees right here, and I haven't seen him leave that. So he either bedded back down, or he walked out to the west. It's only 5:15. We already got bucks on their feet. had a little bit of action. A little half rack. He was over in these acorns. There was another deer over there too. That's 3 deer I've seen over there, but I couldn't tell what that other deer was. I think it was a doe. Whatever it was, it went on the other side of the power line, towards the crop fields to the north. And that little buck split off and came this way. I never saw that bigger buck stand up, so I assume he's probably not in there with all that deer movement going on in there. I feel like he would have stood up, or we would have saw him. It is 7 o'clock. Got about 45 minutes left, something like that. It's game time. Hopefully it gets exciting here. Well, guys, I'm pretty much out of camera light. I still got about 8 minutes left of legal shooting light though, so I'm gonna hang out for a minute, see what happens.